How the devil? Are you? Right. So, I watched a video a while back now from a channel called Thabamar. I think it's Thabamar. I apologise, Thabamar, if it's Thabama. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it. And he made some cheap modifications to a set of Wharfedale Diamond 225s. Now I've got a set of Wharfedale Diamonds 220s, the smaller version of the 225s. So I can make these same modifications to these, couldn't I? And I thought I'd give it a go. And if I'm going to give it a go, I may as well film me doing it. Right, so the first thing he did was take off the jumper plates at the back. Let's have a look, let's get this one. So you got on the back of there, you've got these jumper plates. And when you're looking at entry-level speakers, they're not going to spend a lot of money on jumper plates. Personally, I prefer not to have twin binding posts for bi-wiring anyway. That's my personal opinion. I'm not going to get into that because people get quite irate about bi-wiring. But they're not going to spend a lot of money on the quality of that jumper plate on an entry-level speaker. So what he did was took off the binding plates and put some copper cable to join the two there, the highs and the lows. And then what he did, he extended these are downward firing ports on these speakers. And what he did was take this off at the bottom and put in some 10mm spacers. These spacers in here are 5mm. You don't really want to go more than 10mm, and supposedly it opens up the sound a bit. Now, the reason I want to make the mods to these, I want to give it a go, is because these are a really nice speaker, sounding speaker. They got very good mids, very good highs. The bass is good, but it doesn't go down quite low enough for me. And I wonder whether extending this out will give the bass port enough room for the bass to breathe a little bit, maybe give a bit more oomph on the bottom end. I don't know. I did, let's get that there. So I did the same modification, not to obviously the bass port because it is rear ported, but I did the same modification to the back of it with the bridge plates, where I took off these bridge plates here and I put on some copper wire like this, like that, okay? Now, I know it's subjective, but I thought I heard a difference. I did a video on this and I put a link here somewhere or in the description box. Have a look at that if you want to. If you want to, if you don't want to, don't bother. I don't care, all right? But I thought I heard a difference. And again, people saying, well, you're not going to hear a difference over a distance so short. Well, I can see what they're saying. Look, here's the thing, right? So these bridge plates here, right? They're probably brass, gold-plated brass, right? It's unlikely that they're going to put on expensive bridge. They're probably gold-plated brass on the cheaper ones. If you go more higher-end models, they may have another material. Ideally, you want to have them copper and silver plated, because when you look at the resistance and conductivity of metals, the ones with the lowest resistance, what I just made up a word then. The ones with the lowest resistance and the highest conductivity would be silver being number one, then copper, pure copper coming in at number two, and then gold a little bit lower down, number three. Brass is quite a bit down. Brass is not a fantastic conductor of electricity. It is a conductor, it will do it, but it's not great, and that's why they put the gold plating over the top. And also as well, is that gold plating is not pure gold, is it? It's probably 9 karat gold. But here's the thing, 9 karat gold is, what's it made of? It's made of gold, silver and copper. So Whether that makes a difference or not, I don't know. But they are quite thin. They are quite thin and made of brass. But the gold should carry the signal across quite well over that short distance. But I definitely did hear a difference with these. Anyway, right. So I blabbed on too much now. Let's get these on the table. We change the wire, take off the bridge plate and put the wires on instead. I'm using 12 gauge oxygen-free copper cable to do that. And then we'll take the bottoms off, put in the spacers, and then we'll do a before and after comparison. Oh, come on. Okay, so now if you noticed, you can do these on a carpet if you wanted to. You don't want to damage the speaker or scratch it or anything. So I've put this furry blanket, stroke the furry walls. If you know the film that's referenced from, let me know in the comments. Stroke the furry wall. Good film. Right, so the first thing I'm going to do is change over, take off these binding plates and put jumper cables on. So very easy. This is the negative here, this is the minus. Take that off there. I should just easily slot these in then. Today, and the good thing about these, they've got nice big holes in these. I'm going to bend that round. Just make sure the wires are nice and tucked away. Don't want any stray wires touching one of the other binding posts. That's going to cause you a heap of trouble. Okay, there's that done. I'll just do the other side now, and then we get on to the bottom bit and change the spacers. Okay, so they're done now. And you don't have to, but I've used actual cable that's coloured red and black. So I know that's the plus, that's the minus, just by looking what wires it is. So when I stick my banana plugs in the back, I know which one is which. It's easier to see, especially if you're in a dim room or something. Just makes it a little bit easier. You don't have to use coloured cable, but it's fine. Okay, now let's get on to taking this off. So there's 4 screws. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so there's the base port there. It's got a bit of foam in there. And there's the spacers here. Now, they do come off. Maybe you just need to give them a bit of a tap. There you are. Okay, as you can see, they're 5mm spacers. So I'm assuming they're 5mm. So 2 of them should make 1 of them. There you go. Let's put on the new spacers. Okay, I've just flipped it up on its top there, just to make it easier to put the spacers on. So make sure I got the right ones now. Boink, 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 and boink. Okay, so there you can see the difference between the two. Higher, lower, lower, higher. Higher than a 4. All right. So there, I just get my torch in so you can see it a bit better. There you go. You can see there now the difference in height. So that is now a 10mm space rather than a 5mm space. Let's get this one done and then we'll do a sound test. Oh, I say what? It would be jolly spiffing of you if you were to press the subscribe button, if you will. Thank you. Okay, I finished the mods. Cheap mods, not exactly the best modification in the world. We're doing anything technical really. But does it work? Well, here's a sound test comparing before and after. Let's see what you think after you've heard it. So, what do you think? Ooh. Well, there is a difference, and the differences are very subtle. You've got to really critical listen. You've got to really lean in to hear the differences. I did hear a difference for the better, personally. What I did, I played it several times. I went through once trying to pick out every instrument and just focus on that instrument. So I went through trying to listen to the cymbals. Then I went through trying to listen to the drums. Then I went through again and tried to listen to the piano. Then I went through again and tried to listen to the bass, you know, I said a bass, yeah, that's called a bass, isn't it? Dum, 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 dum. And what I found is that with the mods, I found that it smoothed off the top end a little bit. Nice. It kind of took the edge off it. Not that it was bad before, but it kind of smoothed it over just slightly. It didn't veil it at all. I just think it was a nicer, less fatiguing treble. And I'm talking like teeny amounts here. And when it comes to I didn't think the mids changed much. I listened to the piano, sounded about the same. When it comes to the bass, I thought there was a little bit more bass. And the only way I could determine that was by, if you listen to the bass, dum, 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 dum. In the after section of it, that was a little bit more prominent, a little bit deeper. Only slightly, but definitely an improvement for me. Some of you may listen to this and think you preferred it how it was before. But that's why we do videos like this, to try and help people, you know, if they want to do something like this, they want to know, is it worth their while? And they may listen or watch a video like this and go, nah, I ain't bothering with that, it's not worth it. But look, at the very worst, I spent a few quid, okay? If I didn't like the modifications, I spent a couple of quid. It's not really going to hurt my wallet, is it, much? And I could just swap it back if I didn't like it. So that's the worst thing that can happen. And don't forget that also your listening room might be different, your ears might be different, or got to take all these variables into account. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.